Certainly the best.
All right, so apologies first for comments like behind schedule. We have to make sure that we have all machineries in motion to give you a perfect show on today's edition of Politics Today. I am Wilson Omasha. Well, today is all about what is going on when we talk about issues surrounding the instant transmission of results in real time, the electoral act, the clause, you just name it. That is what we are discussing on today's edition of Politics Today. With me here in the studio, I have veterans. Yes, I can really open up their mouth and tell you one or two things that you can take home that might change your political career positively. So they're very close to me. He is a legal practitioner and, of course, a political analyst and APC stalwart. Join me to welcome Barrister, gentleman, amigo. He's truly a gentleman to the core. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Good morning, viewers.
Thank you so much for coming, sir. And of course, you know him as Open Secret, Dr. Segbe Okaifo. He called into the show to give his opinions and, of course, his view. He's a lecturer also, just at the Grenada University, right? Thank you so much for coming on today's edition of Politics Today.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right. And sitting at my extreme left is Collins Amadi, one-time SSA. Yeah, he's doing Oshomole's government. And of course, an active member of the APCC Youth Mobilizer. When we talk about APCs, like APC runs in his vein. Yeah, Collins, welcome to Politics Today.
Wilson, good morning. Nice having you. Good morning, viewers and listeners.
All right, let me come to Barrister, gentleman, amigo, as a leader of the APC. Many Nigerians are accusing the APC of trying to wriggle their way to make sure that somehow they don't pass that particular law, talking about the instant transmission of results in real time. All right, hence the back and forth talk about all this. Though David Mark, after they have that session in the Senate, they said yes to it, but they gave an improviso. If you have network issue, fall back to manual. And that is causing serious argument again in Nigeria. What do you feel about that clause?
Well, that's a true judgment. What actually, if you have a light issue, how can you transmit? But it's a shame to see senators say no to e-transmission. It does give a message that, well, do they all want to retain this darkness that we are in? We remain there. You can imagine Ghana asking for his own representative in Nigeria to come home because we are not able to conduct free and fair election. It's a shame that we cannot conduct free and fair election in this country. We should. If the e-transmission is wanted to deliver, yes, of course, let it go ahead. Yeah, I give an example. In South Africa, on an election day, there are band sets here and there. People are dancing, eating together because they don't go to court. They know that the winner will get everything. They don't, have you ever heard in South Africa going to court to challenge the election? Because there are a lot of discrepancies in the system we have here in Nigeria. That is why people go to court. And you are making life beautiful for lawyers and judges and all that. It is because we don't have this e-transmission. We should have it. I don't know why senators are having difficulty in approving this e-transmission. It should be automatic. Okay, if you don't want e-transmission, look for somewhere else. Look for something else that you think gives us transparent elections. I'm sick. I'm personally sick that we are not able to conduct free and fair elections. Even though I'm the chief of the APC. But I don't think the problem is APC. But whoever is there, look at all the senators. They are like a Daseka in the approval of e-transmission. Why? You don't want to leave a good legacy for your children or the people of this country? Why are you like a Daseka in the accepting e-transmission? Why? So something that is wrong must have an end. If you are doing something wrong, the time comes, we say, this thing must end, and let you do what is right, because what is right, we say, is right. This election stranded in difficulty It's very painful indeed.
All right, thank you so much, gentleman amigo, for opening discussion with your dismay on the lackadaisical attitude by senators to really say thumbs up fully to e-transmission. Well, Doc, what is your take on this? Are you in tune with what he said, saying he's so fed up with a situation whereby senators are trying to, you know, do one or two mumbo jumbo because they don't want to say direct yes to e-transmission of results?
Well, my opinion may not be far from what our elder here have said. If you look very carefully, during the 2023 general elections, those people who became senators today, who became House of Rep members, benefited from the e-transmission, from the real-time transmission. So, but it's only when it got to the presidential election that we now discovered that it was a different ball game. They now started telling us that there were issues here, there was a hiccup there and there. Otherwise, if not for that e-transmission, I don't think somebody like our Josa senator today would have been able to get victory. So the senators or the lawmakers haven't seen the effectiveness or the efficiency, because a lot of big guys were flawed during that election. People who were very hopeful, like the PDP candidate, the APC candidate, they were very hopeful, being that they were the parties that were really on ground. So having seen that, most of these National Assembly members now, they tend to be afraid because they can swing in either way. So they want to remain in the traditional style, where result sheets are muddled up, erased, they use a crayon or what have you to mutilate the entire figures. And we cannot continue like that. Because if we are saying that Nigeria is the giant of Africa, I think everything positive should generate from Nigeria. So I think the best way to go is for us to have that real-time transmission. Although they are trying to, people who are speaking English, they are trying to tell us the implication or complications of the real-time. But I don't think there's any complication. As far as the election has been completed in any polling unit, we all have agents there. They sign on the result sheet, and the INEC people there transmit it instantly to the area by snapping it and sending it, just like we do to our text messages and what have you. Even if there is an argument, which is I claim to be the devil's advocate argument, sort of, that maybe there is no network here and there, what have you. But as far as you get to the next point where there is a network, everything automatically uploads.
Precisely,
so any person that is saying that we should not do instant transmission of results, that person has something in mind, sinister moves in mind. So let our elections be transparent, so that this idea of going to court is the judges, is the court that will not tell us who is our governor or who is our, it should be, we should move away from that era. And the only way to get it right is through this e-transmission of result, which has been experimented. Even in Anambra, the last time they did Anambra state governorship election, that was what was used. Even in Edo State 2016, during Obaseki's election, that was what was equally used. So, and everybody went home happy.
All right, let's wind the clock back a little bit. Remember when Beaver started, because that seems to be the starting point of all this. Remember President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan couldn't use beavers, remember? And they cited that as an example. What if XYZ happened and you don't have network, you don't have power? How do you think this can be done, Collins?
Thank you very much. You know, sometimes we Nigerians, or some part of Nigerians, are carried by emotions. And I expected we should be advocating for e-voting system. E-voting system is just like going to an ATM. So long you already have your card and what you need, then you vote. Then at a central point, all are sundry know who had voted from which state to which party on which election, not e-transmission. Now let me tell you, to get my leader here very corrected, the last election was done simultaneously with presidential. When he talked about the House of Rep and senators, it was cohesively done together simultaneously, the same time, the same day, the same time they were giving the paper. So there was no way you would have issued e-transmission on Senate and Rep and no issue on the presidency. The truth is that it was done in some area, it wasn't done in some area. There were coercion even when network probably was favorable. Some people use coercion to hold some people and say this is what you must write there. And the e-transmission we are talking about now does not state that it shows how I voted. Let's not get Nigeria confused. It's just for somebody to say, put this figure for this one and put this one for this one. It doesn't all. So if somebody now used, like what we saw in the last election where in East, a whole full state, APC could not generate 1,000 votes. Even when only 2 wards, ESCO, is almost 1,000. Full party ESCO. When some people will carry women and they'll be using by themselves, there were video to it singing. Oh, there was one song they were singing. Yes, this
You've got to be kidding me.
Now, let me tell you. Some people feel if I don't have it, let the word fall. If we want to advocate for transparency, let's advocate in a way that all will be, you know, because you know at that time some things were happening in some state, because those people have mattered out either using Toggle or whatever they wanted to use, and they were not laughing at others that they couldn't win here. People have learned lessons too from their mistake. They don't want you to also take them unaware. Since you had to also mobilize to defeat this time, they will also mobilize even in your own backyard. They will help also mobilize in that your backyard so that the error that happened before can happen. Now, I am not saying e-transmission is not, when we say real time, the real time in there means as we are calculating or counting, as you are reflecting, you will be. So even in some quarters, security agencies were intimidated. They couldn't even go far. So when they speak language, if you cross here, you will. So there were a lot of things that were happening that were not supposed to happen. So what we advocate that another INEC want to start doing some reviewing in the Electoral Act or reviewing their modus operandi. Let them add e-voting system. When there is e-voting system, it's already an e-transmission already. You don't need to vote manually and you will say the transmission must be e. No. I'm not saying anything is wrong in it, but it's not supposed to be a contentious issue because either way can still be ringed. Now, let me tell you, some people were crying that there were no e-transmission, yet they garner a certain vote that they garner. My leader talked about some people, some party, some people who thought they could win. Let me tell you, politicians are very vast and smart. Some of those people didn't get tickets in APC. Or PDP, they moved to Labour, for example. And do you know that election is about mobilization? Is about the politician? Do you know as early as 2 a.m. on an election day, a politician and his agent have already started calling people who want to come and vote? Sometimes standing close to their junction to pack them out. You think it's just on the ground of sympathy? Let me tell you, some of those people who moved to those parties and their followers also moved to them as at that time, to go and deliver that which they love. That was what happened, not really because it was a mark track of a particular image as some persons try to make it to look. Because right in that grassroots in those villages, where in some area they don't even watch news, they don't watch television, do they know that name you are talking in Abuja, that is that particular name? Is that their local politician they know? All right. Yeah, and it's because that local politician, they all came out en masse, for example, to vote who they wanted to vote.
Okay. All right, now let me come to a barrister, a gentleman, amigo. You heard him. He said he's not against e-transmission, but the process must be complete. He's talked about e-voting, that would just handle everything. Rather you voting beavers that you now transmit. You just have a card, like what you do in the US and some other climes. You just place your card, pick your candidate, everything will just go seamlessly. Is that what is lacking here?
That's a beautiful idea, but we have not grown enough to that level. A lot of illiteracy in this country. What my son is talking about ought to be taken, because that's where we are going eventually. But right now we are not up there. We have problems with cyber difficulties. We cannot do that here now in this country. What we can safely do is e-transmission. You see, let me also open up to him. E-transmission doesn't mean that it's so clumsy, it's just there. My brother said of agents. There are agents there, you sign, we sign, everybody agrees, and then it's transmitted. Or you transmit immediately while the voting is going on. Everybody is saying it. It's not what you go to do behind. We don't want to talk of what happens behind. If you have been giving money or you have been asked to vote either way, well, that's your own business. You are failing your country, not only yourself. But once a vote is cast in a polling station, it should be transmitted immediately. even when the result is not fully released, you already know. We have a board at the center there that is relaying what is happening from police station to police station. Ghana does it, South Africa does it, Kenya does it. Why are we not able to do it? I mean, it's very shameful.
All right. Now, from what he said at the onset while opening this particular discussion, he said it's not an APC thing.
It's not.
Because political parties are accusing the APC of being behind this particular, move against e-transmission. Do you share his views?
Actually, it's like corruption. It's a universal phenomenon. Only that the magnitude varies from one community to the other. The issue is that in Nigeria, as we all know it, every government in power want to perpetuate themselves in power. The only government that never tried to perpetuate itself in power, either by hook or by crook, was Goodluck Jonathan, who told us that his election is not worth the blood of anyone. So, but a whole lot of other politicians, like my brother here, in addition to, they are very sinister in their motives. But the issue here is very, very simple. On election day, after the voting, there is what we call result sheet.
That's right.
That after removing all the papers from the ballot box, we count, we sort them out. The APC got so, you write it there. The other one got so, you write it there. PDP got so, you write it there. At the end of the agents there, they will all sign on that same result sheet. Police will get their copy, all the agents will get their copy. It is that copy that you are supposed to snap and transmit it after counting. That's the issue. So if we all agree on that, because it is that those result sheets they normally later take to the local government collation center or the ward collation center to mutilate. So, but by the time it is voted at the ward level, there at the unit level and at the polling unit level, and we all agreed in my unit that is what we got. Then we agents sign, then we snap it and send it to the. That is done. Even when you now go to the local government collation center or the ward collation center, it's just to harmonize figures, not to go out there mutilating again. So that is the essence of it. So that by the time we now go there, everybody has their own copy and it's also registered in the IRF. So that is what we are looking for. It's not a rocket science. And this will settle a whole lot of issues that usually pop up after elections. We know that in the process, maybe in the polling booth, people can share 100,000, 50,000 to induce people to vote for them. That's not how I look at. After you have done whatever, if you like, sell your house and share it to people to come and vote for you. If it's 1 million votes you got there, we all record it in the glare of everybody. The other one goes also vote. We all know how parties share money. Only that some share more than the others. So whatever we are going to get in that polling booth, we get it there and write it. The idea of people coming, leading squad, leading because there are people in power, leading squad, carry gun, people beat everybody, carry paper, and it will be minimized.
Collins, you heard him.
I will
Both
always.
of them. So if you minimize that is still the best. You write, you snap, you send straight to IREF. That seems to be the best. When you talk about electronic voting, from what gentleman Amigo said, they said we've not matured to that extent yet. This is what we can do now.
Now, sir, when we choose to mature, to start from the people. Because first, I have a particular bank. I always misplace my ATM. Since I realized that they have a certain machine right in their front there. Once I misplaced it, I'll just walk in there, I'll just type again, lost. In less than 3 seconds, they'll just give me new one. I just still go. Now, what I'm trying to say is that e-system, the same software you want to build to do your e-transmission, for example, it's just that it's going to cost more money. Now, INEC have brought a budget of about 800 something billion. Now, for example, those are things probably we could say, okay, why don't we just start? Because it is even the e-voting you need more than the e-transmission. And I have told you before, transmitting, we may have voted, and at the point about to transmit, and some talks come, whether on uniform or not on uniform, and ask everybody to live here, and then transmit whatever fits them. So,
in the presence of INEC officers.
Okay, we are coming now.
That booth can be
Okay,
nullified.
now we have had elections where people have accused INEC officials. Like in a Edo election that Oga made reference, I was even happy said it just now. The people not still go to court, up to Supreme Court. There was still argument. You said there was e-transmission, and which was wonderful. Everybody went home. Did everybody go home? No, he ended at Supreme Court. Created some love of distraction. Now, the people will always be insatiable, especially the greedy politicians who always want to deceive the people to get what they want. And at the end of the day, the same day now trying to say government in power, for example, we now use government authority. Those same people you assume you are fighting for with everything, they are creating new party with new name. They will decamp after 1 week with that same mandate to that same ruling party that you called you or tagged your enemy yesterday. So we must understand that holistically we should do things the way we should do it. Not because we are trying to say we want to fight the government in power. Let us, because e-transmission will just be, it's good though, if it's possible. They did it in some election. It went in some, and in some, where some of those INEC officials too felt they cannot be intimidated, they said, no, you can't force me to do this. They couldn't transmit. It became issue. They said they are going to local government headquarters for there to report the issue. From there, the leaders will now decide, or the party people will now decide on what to do. But because those who wanted to use haven't gathered mob, they wanted to use mob to compress them. They now saw some other persons who have mob nature. They could not force them to do it. They moved there. They now felt they had gone to manipulate the result. You know, one man's food is another man's poison. Not until we heal the nail in the bud where we need to hit it. If we start from electronic voting, for example, which is normal, when you go to bank, you want to, they say thumbprint. Once you go there, the same thing is still there. It's the same ATM machine they use. Right. The same phone, it's just different design and different software applications that are there. Okay. So I am not of the opinion that we shouldn't have manual as an alternative, which they have already created in a situation where somebody try to force people and say, because you will be surprised, a voting point that don't even have less than 100,000, they will tell you, write 1 million, we will go to court, we will meet in court. Transmit it like that. Before you will not go to court, court will not tell you have not proven beyond reasonable that one is not enough. People are even tired of going to court ordinarily. If 100 go to court, how many comes out to get what the soul desire from them? Because your desire may not be the judge view. The view of the judge may be different from what you are so desiring. We have seen people carry Ghana must go to court before with piece of paper, and the judges look and say you are wasting our time because there is nothing evident in what you are showing to us. So please, they better have to look for people who used to say akara so that they can give them those papers, because it became an issue even before the court. But to you, it was an evidence. How are you going to do that? They will tell you to bring each one person from all the units in the area. If you say a full constituency, for example, you felt there was manipulation, the court expects you to bring somebody from all that units that you are claimed.
All right. We want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion, because Collins is insisting that e-transmission might not stop corruption, so to speak, in our election. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin Aqua Seed. Ayo or Aqua game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is Politics Today, reaching you live from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. And we're taking a look at the e-transmission controversies surrounding the clause of like saying if there are issues, you can fall back to manual. But Collins raised one opinion. He said, anyone can just come hijack a polling unit and tell them to impute whatever they need to impute for the party to come out top. Is not going to change the outcome of an election. How true is this assertion?
Well, again, this is what we are talking about. Somebody coming to hijack results or election results. I mean, if you are a man of honor and integrity, as an INEC man or as an agent, you won't allow that to happen. So come back to take your money where that's not what we want. One of your friends just can say, oh, don't be loyal to yourself. Isn't it shame? Nobody can just come and say, I want to, you bring gun. Why should you bring gun? Even our women now, they have become so aware. But when people start shooting, they say, go away here. Have you been had to come and be shooting gun in the polling station? You can see the idea of going to shoot gun. It's already going. It's already diminishing, fastly, of course. So people must learn to have honor and integrity and dignity. To say this is yes and this is no. I'm not even talking as a party man, I'm talking as what is right should be taken as right. And what is wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we go on like that, look at, I was just coming down here, I passed University of Benin, and I saw the chain link that the authority placed there to protect the life of our children. The students have vandalized it. They cut it here and go inside. This is the same thing with government. For goodness sake, let us go back to what is right. You don't bring money to a voting center. We don't need your money. So the person we vote for should be allowed to rule. That's what I'm saying. There are countries or the independent candidates, they win elections without allying themselves to any political party.
Yes.
Because that person has honor and integrity. He wins. That's what our constitution has not permitted. If you allow independent candidates to come up, all this stealing of ballot boxes and we reduce drastically. People will say, yes, we say, you are our man. You have been with us here. you are an upright man, we are going to vote for you. And the vote will count. Don't wait for 5,000 behind, 10,000 behind. The people who go behind to collect 50,000 are people without honor. And the people who even bring the money are people without honor. So we should disregard such people in the community. They are no human beings.
All right.
Who want to buy vote and who sell vote. Those are no human beings.
Okay. Now, can one deduce that the APC right now, they are showing, Nigerians the right way to really talk about election by introducing e-registration? Do you think other parties can just follow suit, and from there, maybe, just maybe, we'll get it right in the e-transmission or e-voting? Doctor?
Well, I think e-registration did not just start now. I remember some time ago, all the parties have been talking about e-registration, even the PDP 5 years ago, some years ago, e-registration. That one is just party trying to boost their database. It has nothing to do actually with our election. If the parties are talking about e-registration, maybe they want to take a census of all their members. And I don't know the reason why a party or parties will be clamoring for e-registration, and they're going about e-registration. Land ADC is also doing their own. The APC has started Governor Pebble is 001 and all that. Then when it now comes to let us now transmit the election on E-level, people are now trying to see it on it. So the e-registration for party is just for them. It's not, at the end of the day, it's just a formality. It doesn't even enhance the party structure, because at the end of the day, the bourgeois, the aristocrats, the godfathers are the ones who are still going to dictate who is going to be a councillor, who is going to be governor, who is going to be this, who is going to be that. So let them register whatever they want to register. But what we want is let our elections be transparent. The idea of people coming with guns, there should be the National Assembly, if they assisted with us, they should make a law punishable by death.
Yes.
Just like somebody who
by
has
death.
Gone, yes.
Yes.
Just like somebody who has gone for coup.
Yes.
We have information that Nigeria, I mean, they are trying some military officers who attempted coup against President Tinubu recently. So somebody who carried gun, carry people, like what happened in my constituency when we were doing election for Ikpea the other day, when party leaders, ward community leaders, ward leaders, they led talks. Even the DPO was in their entourage to come to the polling booth, beat everybody, scatter everybody, and make away with this thing. So things like, and these people are in public glare. I was in this studio, I mentioned their names. If I want to mention their name, I can still mention their name. We are relatives from the same village there. But if everybody now begin to resort violence, no one has a monopoly of violence. Because you are in government today, you have government. People can. That's why we have bandits today. Terrorists are coming up. People can blame ambush for you. You are not the only one who have source to go. After all, we are traditional people. We have Ojogun around us that can give you.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yes, now we have hunters everywhere. We can get access to cartridges. So let us not feel that because we are in power today. Yes. Just carry entourage, carry thugs, import thugs all over, bring them to where they are coming. That's barbaric. That's barbaric. So we should not be looking at that. If everybody, by the time we sign the what's it called now, the result sheet, then you now come. The public glare that you came with talks and shot everybody and forced the result. We contest it. So let us be reasonable and responsible for our ones. When PDP was there, when they were holding sway, the APC was crying foul every time. So we expected that when they come with change, they would have normalized the second. But now it's like you are building. They're not telling you that's what PDP fed they do. That is not. We are not building a country. We are not building a country. So let us do it right. Let us set it right. Election is not your birthright. If you do your homework well, you mobilize very well, you win. If you like, sell your inheritance and come and share it to buy out the vote, no problem. But by the time the result has been recorded, let it fly. Yes. Let it fly. That is why our country is under a siege. It's under a stranglehold. We are not going where. Lumele ni luele. Olewa gugede me car.
Exactly.
You do me, I do you. Now make death. Now make bury ground a fool. You do me, I do you. So let us Every day we go to church, we go to mosque, all the churches, all the streets, everywhere. At the end of the day, no sincerity, no honesty.
Yes, sir.
Everybody want to get it at all cost. It's not fair.
At
All
all.
right, Collins.
And not everybody have this taste of blood. That's why you see the good people, they will not want to come. Not everybody have this taste to go and shed blood. To go and shed blood. No, not everybody. But they are good people. They can do well in government. But because they don't want to shed blood,
To stay in their hands.
they'll just take there, and the evil people are running the day.
All right, Collins, talk about the e-registration. Do you think it's a pathway to really make it clear for Nigeria to dive into the e-transmission, of course, the e-voting you talked about, drawing inspiration with people living outside of Nigeria vis-a-vis diaspora?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the e-registration, just as my senatorial leader have over the time emphasized that there should be a way that there will be coercion. Ordinarily, when you talk about e-transmission, e-voting, is trying to create coercion, that people cannot, trying to build up a system where it could remain even when the person who is managing it is not there, you know. But we don't, our people are problem. Now you talk about the e-registration.
Now you agree.
Even if we build or we try to say e-registration, it's fine. Oh, you have your data of your people. But you know, it can even get to a time you want to aspire because your face is not like, somebody can pay 2 billion naira for a portal to be open, to remove and delete you from there as a member of that party. They do it because you don't have that money. And you see now, for example, even as e-registration is going on, there are some people who have to come all the way from diaspora, from America, from London, to come and participate. And one Mr. David Adodo, for example, is an example from all one I would like to always give. Anytime our party does anything, you see him come all the way from US, our people want to go outside this country, he hosts them over there, he elogize the APC over there internationally. But people like that party now also have their records. There should be time to reward both local and also diaspora, so that interest will be there. And it will now reflect that the data we are using is working. Because a situation whereby people must come to queue, roll around mango tree, drive villa up and down, run from villa to villa, run from local government office to local government office, that data system can to say, okay, this one have this one have been here, let's click in Edo, which names are there in Oredo, which names are there in Ibobaha, our US APC data, let's click in, who are the members that have been committed thus far, how do we fit them in? From there you just take certainly their phone numbers. Oh, the party would like to see you. It's a way of honor where you do not have to start begging one godfather, to start bribing one person. In so many cases they will even promise you to get the result to what they are promised is a problem, and you have a way of reducing party strength. But especially you talked about the diaspora people. Sometimes really we need to encourage our diaspora people, because even when it comes to financing the party, in most cases, even when they are not physically here, they have always have a way of sending both resources to assist the party, assist candidates of party to win election. If they don't do that, sometimes the party may be lacking. And for don't behold, that is why you see smaller party most times find it very difficult to grow. When they don't have expired politicians who have stolen so much joining them. Because the smaller party, when you see them shining, like ADC now, they claim they are shining, because there were lots of people that are now moved in there who have siphoned government so badly and have so much resources that they can even dare a sitting governor when it comes to money. So it will be money for money, mobilization for mobilization, for example. So by that so doing, those you claim to have clean hands can always have their way. So when they have also succeeded in spending that money, when the time comes in that same new party, when they have won, they will tell you we were the ones spending the money. So it's not about your participation, it's not about your attendance, it's not about your name in the e-registration. It's about who was releasing money for those who want to go and fight, for those who want to go and mobilize, for transportation. So can you write them off? No, they will become automatic leader. That is the name they usually give them in party. Somebody will just join party in 2 months, maybe from Warri or from Chevron, wherever it come from. They will be given a commissioner, for example, after 2 weeks of election. And somebody will tell you he has been spending money to support to support the party without receipts. You know, when we really want things to work, even when people actually are supporting, let party leaders make sure their names very well to party members that this person is not here, is supporting, so that when the time comes, that person want to aspire, nobody will say no. That was what I mentioned when I said David Adodo from Monwa, for example, because we know what he has been doing.
We are not here to campaign for anyone or mention names, because come on, we have many people there in APC that are out there in the US, everywhere. So please, whatever to eulogize or talk about anyone. Now, talking about e-registration. Viewers out there, you can take a look at the phone numbers on your screen. Just call the number to be part of this discussion. Do you think that APC is getting it right? And other parties can really learn from them, juxtaposing it with the transmission of results.
Yeah, but it's not whether APC is doing it right. It's whether all Nigerians are doing it right. It is not a system meant for APC alone. The only thing is that APC is on ground, and we are mobilizing. We have the means to mobilize. We have the people. We have the finance, like my young man said, to mobilize. The people who don't have job, we have put them to the field. So when we eventually win, they don't come and say, oh, it's XYZ, because we have mobilized, we are still mobilizing. So it is, but what my own sermon is, let us do it right.
All right.
Let us do it right.
All right, let's get to hear from our caller 080-7777-0300. 080-7777-0300. Now that is a number you should call to be part of this show. Let's take this call. Hello. Yeah, good morning. How are you doing this morning? All right, so what's your name and where are you calling from? Ultima the Great.
Yeah, I'm calling from
all right.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate that the election assembly, only one nation, other than amendment, the Nigeria have confidence that their next election will come. They are depending over it. They ignore it and say that it cannot be compulsory. Yes, it cannot be compulsory, but I still believe if I make, because the people and the control the election, like the INEC chairman, if we would do the influence here, like Professor Nenna, of Abia State, last Google election Abia, wanting to employ that woman to tell Nigeria the truth next year. The election or not, it depends on people that control the election. You want them to tell Nigeria the truth next year. In a budget of they are demanding almost a trillion naira for this election. That's not a billion. For what? What are they conducting with this huge amount of money? At the end of the day, the more we want to, I don't really understand. So if they want Nigeria to become the let the economy and play election next year. All the people are decamping the APC. We are the ones to talk, not them. Not them. We are the ones to decide. Not all the governors. How many governors? 36 state governors and then 6 ministers. We almost all have 15 million Nigerians. They are the ones to decide, not them. So let them give for that this year. Let them tell Nigeria the truth.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You heard our caller, gentleman amigo, talked about the colossal amount earmarked as the budget for INEC, close to 1 trillion, 800 and something billion, close to 1 trillion. Is that not too much? Does it really make sense?
There are individuals who have that kind of money in Nigeria. Some individuals. Are you not following up what America is talking, what London is talking? There are individuals having, because we are dealing with 250 million people. We have so many voting centers. INEC has to be present in all the voting centers, all the polling stations across the country. There are millions. So you cannot say they have sat down to work on it.
All right, we have a call. Hello. 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 Well, you can liken that to it. Please continue with the comment you were making about the money earmarked. Okay, fine. Let's get to hear from you. Yes, let's get to hear from you, Dr. Esewena. What do you feel about the amount budgeted for the election?
Well, for me, I think it's bogus. The amount is very bogus. That's how they have been budgeting amount for INEC over the years. We can't even talk about that of Mahmoud that just left. That was how they budgeted the love. Even Atayelu Jega, the same thing. At the end of the day, when election comes, everything will crumble. They'll start telling us stories. This one, no vehicle to mobilize INEC official. You realize that it's even the politicians that will be mobilizing vehicles to go and carry INEC and their INEC officials and their materials and the corps members and what have you. So it's too bogus. Almost a trillion. What are 80-something billion? I mean, what are we doing? And at the end of the day, INEC don't have permanent staffs. They just have a handful of very few. So I don't know. It's too much. It's too much. Right. That money can be used for a whole lot.
All right, now let's get you this caller. Hello. Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Solomon Ataga. My brother there, the analyst in the house, good morning.
Morning.
Secret money, sir.
Take before it.
You see, the fact is very obvious and it's very clear to Nigeria that these our House of Assembly, they have something in their mind.
Okay.
When I say like that analyst there, who represent the APC, I say in voting or in transmission. After the time you people introduce this beaver, Nigeria will now argue with you. Is it not this that introduced the beaver? I'm asking a question. Is it not this ruling party that introduced these beavers we are using today? Did they talk of network then? The Nigeria say after we vote, what we can, it will be difficult for one man to come. Are you the RO of those states to come as after we have come, defeated the country? What we see for ISO, okay, transferring so that we know that it's sure. You are telling us, let's be frank and sincere. We need that. Then for the amount of the money, whether it's bogus or whatever, to me it's too much. For a country like Nigeria, who doesn't have constant electricity? Who doesn't have security? Who borrow money to put their budget? You are using close to $1 trillion for election. We have 772 local governments in Nigeria. If you are even projecting 500 million, it's not even up to 400 million. What are they saying? Is it a nice product of if you come to election, central INEC, you literally have your own. Are we living in that kind of era? That money is too much, my dear. For a country suffering like a citizen 60 years, it's not receiving a salary in this country. But for not the resources given to us by God Almighty, and you are spending sort of amount in election. The vehicle we bought in every election. Are you people selling the vehicle? Is it every election we buy vehicle? That's my question. Because we projected money every year in any election.
All right, thank you.
The money we are using today is up to 3 or 4 months or a year. And then when you are having this program and next week after you buy another man, can I give you move forward like that?
Thank you. Thank you, Social. We're calling you around and talking about the money, close to 1 trillion for the first time in the history of conducting Nigerian elections. Like the money just keep on going higher and higher. That depends on who is in charge. What do you feel about the amount?
Yes, you know, it's quite unfortunate that we don't have a system. Just as I've always said, there is no running institution in this country. It's just now probably the president is trying to put one or two things in place where we can have a dependable institution, maybe through economy, that we now, anybody that comes in already know the formation through which the economy can be growing, as acclaimed by World Bank and the CBN and the bourgeois on top, and the international, who have agreed that systematically we are moving. The same thing should apply to police, to policing system or security at large. The same thing should apply to educational system. The same thing, you know, sometimes when government say things, it become fiat, it become worrisome. Because ordinarily when something comes from government, it's supposed to be gazetted and well followed up. But we have not had those things happening anymore. But we hope that maybe, just as I've said, we begin to. Like my brother said something just now that was touching. INEC does not operate invisibly. They are empirical. We can feel them, we can touch them, we can see. If you had built secretariat, I don't think INEC had a major headquarters befitting in Benin or in Edo, where you have a section, which is the ICT section, well furnished, well treated, if these are things that this kind of money are going for, we will understand that they are building a system that can be lasting. That if another INEC official takes over, then it's just to get persons busy, not starting all over again.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
So much. Well, gentleman, amigo. For a gentleman that you are, you're going to cap up this discussion. So what advice do you have for INEC? What advice do you have for Nigerians and, of course, members of the National Assembly? Briefly.
Well, I'm in sympathy with members of the National Assembly. It just seems to me that they borrow brains when they are going for meetings. They don't have their heads over their shoulders. If they do, they will know what is right and follow what is right. We are crying that things are not done properly, like my young man. I'm in sympathy with my young man there because it is their government. We are their tenants right now at our age. So, but we should learn to do what is right. That has been my sermon right from time. Well, we wish Nigeria success. We'll get there, hopefully. We'll get there.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Well, you've heard him. He said we'll get there eventually, but as it is right now, we need to do the right thing. Bearing his word on this platform, do the right thing, irrespective of any political party that you are repping. Collins, I appreciate you.
Thank you very
Dr.
much.
Dr. Pusikri, thank you so much. And of course, gentleman amigo, always a gentleman. Thank you so much for coming. Sonny Kokosu will be around next week, Saturday, for yet another edition of the program Politics Today. Bye for now.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.